Hey everyone, we gotta talk about Keemstar. Keemstar is someone I never thought I would ever talk about on this channel, honestly, which is so bizarre of me because he's obviously a drama news reporter, so obviously, you know, he was gonna get himself involved in the little spider's web, and that's what's happened, and that's what we're gonna talk about. Now, Keemstar is not in drama. Do not get it twisted. Actually, he's calling people out, and I'm agreeing with Keemstar. I'm like putting my hand up and saying I'm agreeing with Keemstar here. As we all know, there's been an influx of YouTubers and influencer parties, and they've gone absolutely astronomical. Is that the right use of that word? I love that word. It's a big word and I want to use it to feel smart. Let me be. Now, there were continuously parties happening at Bryce Hall's house, then the LAPD and the LA government stood in and turned off his power, but there's still been parties happening in all these other houses, and let me tell you that I've been getting DMs, as I said in one of my last videos, from people being like, "Hi Adam, I just want you to know that this YouTuber's still going to parties, this YouTuber's still going to parties. Here's pictures of them." They're still doing it, but you're just not seeing it. But also, there's a lot of parties that we are still seeing, so I was always wondering, this is from a viewer's point of view and like an audience point of view, how does this feel from a friend of these people who's going to the parties, or an acquaintance, or someone who's collabed with them? It's always like, you see your colleagues, basically, because you're all on YouTube, or you're all influencers, you're all working in the same line of content field. You see them, and it's kind of your group together with them, so you have to have an opinion on it and make your stance very clear, like what Keemstar just did. But also, at the same time, a lot of the people that he's talking to or was friends with have gone to these parties, so I was always like, what is Keemstar's opinions going to be in this? Because he's a drama channel, he has to talk about it. A news channel has to talk about it, but these are his friends, some of these people. He's released a statement, he released a video on Twitter, and I sent it out to all of you, and a lot of you had things to say as well, so we'll get into them. But first things first, let's watch his video. So he posted this to Twitter called Dear LA Morons. Good start, love it.
Listen, I know I'm gonna come across like I'm preaching to the fucking choir, but I keep seeing these stories of the Jake Pauls, the TikTokers, and some of my friends out there partying in LA, constant going to parties and parties and parties and parties. And I seen a tweet earlier today from Taylor Kniff. And this motherfucker, Taylor, said, same people complaining about people partying in LA are the same people, if they was invited, would also show up. Maybe that's true. Maybe there are some kids out there that are fans of some of these influencers in LA and these TikTokers and these YouTubers that would show up to the party. But let me ask you this, all right? What about those fans that had their grandma die, that had their grandpa die, that had their parents die, that had their aunt or uncle die of COVID? What about them when they're watching these videos that you guys are boldly posting on social media of you out partying with no mask, nothing? How do you think they fucking feel? They probably hate your fucking guts.
Oh, okay. I think this is the first Keemstar video that I feel like I gotta give him that, just because it spoke for itself. So what I'm gonna do is go through the video one more time and actually talk this time and say my feelings on what he's saying.
Listen, I know I'm gonna come across like I'm preaching to the fucking choir.
Isn't it so sad that it's coming across as preaching whenever someone speaks out who has a platform against other people who have a platform who are partying? That's bizarre to me. That's really bizarre. And I've even got it myself. People saying, Adam, you're starting to sound preachy. About what? People not partying during a world pandemic and promoting it to their fucking young audience? I'm sorry, Becky.
But I keep seeing these stories
because he's a news channel
of the Jake Pauls, the TikTokers, and some of my friends.
So even that statement there where he's saying the Jake Pauls, the TikTokers, and his friends. So, as we all know, Jake Paul and his friends were kind of the first ones to start having these parties. They were doing like equipment that they were hanging from, like tractors and stuff like that. Then TikTokers started, and now what he's saying, his friends are the ones going to these parties. I've seen Keemstar tweeting online and being like, adding the people, I was like, I thought you were better than this. Or like, was that him? I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure on Twitter he was coming after his friends who were going to these parties. So I'm just gonna... Allegedly. But even him saying here, like my friends, like some of my friends going, like how disappointing from a person who has to talk about it is this. Not even just like a normal person, but someone who has to talk about this and call these people out. That's awkward.
Partying in LA, constant going to parties and parties and parties and...
Isn't it just parties in LA as well? Like, it's not any other place. Like, literally, the issue at this stage is just parties in LA.
And I seen a tweet earlier today from Taylor Kniff. And this motherfucker, Taylor, said...
I can't with this. Same people complaining about people partying are the same people, if they was invited, would show up. I said this in another video. I was invited to my friend's 18th birthday party and I'm in Ireland and I didn't go. You know why? Because no one should party during a world pandemic. Your party can wait. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what the numbers are. You know, if we want to get out of this, we all gotta work at the same fucking level and we gotta all care for each other. And we can't be like, oh, I'm here, so I'm gonna have my 18th birthday party, or I'm here, I'm gonna have my 21st birthday party, or just one more night out, like I'm over... No. I can't, like, partying is, like, go out on a coffee date or something, you know what I mean? And also, this is just like the influencer entitlement here, where it's kind of like, people who are talking shit are just the people who are jealous. It's like the, you're bullying me, you love me, you know, kind of mentality. It's so dumb, and oh, like, God.
Same people complaining about people partying in LA are the same people, if they was invited, would also show up. Maybe that's true.
And what he says here is so true.
Kids out there that are fans of some of these influencers in LA and these TikTokers and these YouTubers that will show up to the party.
Yeah.
But let me ask you.
Okay, and before he goes on, I just want to say, for these young kids who would want to go to the party because their influencers are there, you know why? Because their influencers are there. It's that brainwash mentality that everything's okay because my favorite person's partying every single day. It's like the mob mentality thinking going to a party is okay because we're seeing it so often now, and these younger people around my age are seeing it from their favorite YouTubers, their favorite TikTokers, and they're thinking that's the norm because the influencer is acting like it is. And the argument that Keemstar is saying is, yeah, they might go, and of course they might go because their favorite YouTuber's there. It's up to them to set that example that we are in a world pandemic, people. We're in a worldwide pandemic. How about we all stop going to parties? How about we all stop fucking promoting going to parties as well? How about we all just stay inside and abide by your country's guidelines? How about that? Let's continue.
You this, alright? What about those fans that had their grandma die, that had their grandpa die, that had their parents die, that had their aunt or uncle die of COVID? What about them? When they're watching these videos that you guys are boldly posting on social media of you out.
Yeah, okay, so I gotta get to that first. So, yeah, imagine from a fan's point of view, something that made you lose your family members, your closest friend, anyone close to you. Seeing then your favorite person posting about going to parties during a worldwide pandemic, putting not only them at risk, the other people at risk, but promoting, putting yourself at risk and others at risk. My heart breaks for anyone who has experienced that because, oh, Jesus Christ, you know. And then, so anyway, he goes on and he says, boldly posting this on your Instagram story, because what we gotta talk about as well is that they're not just partying, they're boldly promoting it.
With no mask, nothing.
No?
How do you think they fucking feel? They probably hate your fucking guts.
And I don't understand how important that party is for you to lose that audience. You know what I mean? And it's not like you're losing that audience because they're being petty. No. This is serious, and this is beyond just like tea. This is beyond drama. Which is why Keemstar is doing like a Twitter video literally addressing this, being like, my friends are going, this is fucked up. The more and more I talk about these influencer parties, the more they piss me off because they're still happening. You know what I mean? I can be talking about this now and then tonight I'll go on Twitter and there's more ones happening. And that's so degrading and frustrating because as a world, we're in this together. No matter what your country guidelines are, go out on your coffee date, you know what I mean? Don't go out to a party with hundreds of people and then promote it and then be like, oh, it's so much fun. And then your audience does it and then you do it the next day. Do you realize within each other how many ideas that breeds to party? It's fucking infuriating. So I asked my subscribers, I said opinions on Keemstar coming for all of his friends, influencers and YouTubers who are partying, and he says they aren't thinking how their fans who have lost family members to COVID feel. Because that's a complete conversation in itself that I don't think even on my channel we've had enough. with them boldly partying and boldly promoting it to their social medias. Jessica said no matter if they are his friends or not, it's good that he's calling them out. California alone has over 600,000 cases of COVID. Jesus, that is like insane. And the majority are from dumbtown LA. We do not stand these YouTubers, whatever you call them. They are selfish and do not care about others, even their own family. And it's like, how do their family members feel? Like, good on you. Yay, look what you've raised. Analog Winter said, I'm not a fan of Keemstar, but even a broken clock is right twice a day. I'm in full support of anyone and everyone calling out these reckless behaviors of these selfish, disease influencers with large social media followings. Jennifer said, I don't even think the point is for him to lose these friends because of this. Everyone's like, he's still going to be their friends after this, but he's still having the courage to come forward and tell his friends to stop the stupidity publicly. Just because my friend is wrong and being stupid and I correct them doesn't mean I'll stop being their friend. But I do think it is so important that everyone holds each other accountable, especially their friends. We need to keep each other safe and encourage one another to follow safety protocols. Space Milk said he's right, his friends are selfish morons. The Lover System said, I've never been a fan of Keemstar, but it's good to see that he's being smart and using his connection with these people voice on the internet to speak up without sugarcoating it. They need to be called morons, be told that what they're doing is dumb and dangerous, and be called out by more people. Rach said, I'm pleasantly surprised. As much as I don't like him, he's spreading an important message here, and I really respect him for that. Madeline said, you know it's bad when Keemstar is calling you out, especially if he's not being hypocritical about it. Jasmine said, I honestly think it's great. More influencers should speak up about it and shame them because this needs to stop and it needs to stop now. It's disgusting. Jessie Panda said it's nothing impressive as it should be common sense. So I'm happy that he's telling these party mob people to have some decency. Pain Bread said as much as I dislike him, he is doing the right thing by calling them out for partying. Shadow said it's a good message, but it's Keemstar and he's only saying publicity to get attention and he will stay friends with everyone he's calling out because they will keep him relevant. Okay, so there's hundreds of replies here, but I just want to say some thoughts, right? So this video in no way is talking about Keemstar himself or character. Before this, I am literally focusing on the fact that he did this video calling out his friends. You know why? Because this is my thing with drama channels and news channels. I don't think personally that you should be friends or close with the people that you talk about because that makes you biased. We've seen it a lot. So the fact that Keemstar is close and can just be like, oh, I'm gonna call them, I'm gonna text him. Especially with the Shane thing, he was like, oh, I text Shane. He said no. You know what I mean? I don't think you should have that connection because it makes you be more in their favor. But the fact that he's calling out his friends as well, he didn't name them. He should have named them. But the fact that he's calling them out is good enough. It's not great enough, and I feel like he should have pushed it and actually said their names and be like, here's pictures of them, here's pictures. You know why? Because he has a platform too that he needs to be doing a little bit more because he is a YouTube drama news channel and he's talking about these people every other day like we all are, so it's kind of like, hold them accountable for this as well. And he made such a valid point whenever he was saying about your fans who have COVID, have had people lost to COVID, or just people in their lives with COVID, how do you think they're reacting to that? Which I'm saying as well, as a conversation we haven't had that much on this channel, and is very valid, and is very scary and sad. So I'm happy he said that, and hopefully his friends listened and actually heard that point, but still, I don't think they fucking care. I think Keemstar can definitely do a lot more because he's not the traditional YouTuber because he talks about other YouTubers like, you know, fucking what we're doing on here. So he can do a little bit more and he can actually say, this person was partying, this person was partying, even if we already know, because it then promotes that to his audience that he's standing against that and is also giving a warning to his audience that, yeah, this person was doing that, this person was doing that, instead of just saying like, even my friends were going out and partying. That's my opinion on it, honestly. Again, I don't know much about Keemstar, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what he's really done in the past. I know that he's came after a couple of my friends. As I said, the only thing I'm focusing on this video is that Dear LA Morons video because I think that's all for context we really need right now. If you want to have a conversation in the comments with me, I'm down to do that and we can do follow-up videos, but I'm saying, I'm glad he did this video, I'm glad he called out that Taylor Kenneth boy for being ignorant and thinking, oh, like everyone would come, but at the same time, Keemstar, you really should, in these short videos in your Twitter that will get a lot of attention, be calling out your friends by name. In my opinion, I think that's what you should be doing. But either way, I'm glad at the arguments that he made in this video. You know what, I'm putting my hand up and saying that I actually agree with what he is saying here. But I want to know what your opinion is on Keemstar speaking. Well, I really didn't think I'd be talking about Keemstar on this channel. I love you, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And again, let's have that conversation below.